Hello, everyone. As Alar said, my name is Kaljula, and I'm from TalTech, representing the Wood Lab. And today I would like to talk about my research topic. I'm in the first year of my research. So the main topic is development of wood-based hybrid layered materials. So I would put it in other words as well, that we basically want to develop a new material which is consisting of layers, and hybrid because it's probably some mixed species, mixed quality of the raw materials put together and making a high-class building material. So to the problem. There has to be a problem which we want to solve, and one of them is the beetle-attacked wood, which I'm also focusing currently on. That beetle-attacked wood, which they attack softwood mostly, and especially Norway spruce, very vulnerable to it. In Estonia, we have big amounts of it. To show it visually, this graph here, area of the bark beetle attacked forests. This is mixed forests, but a big part of it is the spruce and pine. And what I want you to see, especially here, what I want you to put your attention on it, that this is very related to the climate. So in 2018 and in 2022, so around these times, there was a massive drought session and also probably some more increased wind and so. And what does it mean? It weakens the tree. And in this case, the tree can't defend themselves so well, so they're more vulnerable for the beetle attacks. So this is where they bring it on, and they take over the trees. And then you can see the major increase. This data comes from the Forest Defense Expert Assessments, but actually the real numbers could be even bigger, because this is the data which comes from the official fellings, when there is like, okay, we have understood that there is the infected trees, we have to clear cut them. But in real life it could be more, because some of the cuts are done without any specific reasons, but most likely it's because of the beetle attacks. And to show it even more realistically, this is how it looks. In the forest, this gray dead trees are the spruce trees, which are dead already, infected from the bark beetle, and eventually the bark beetle attack also causes the blue stain. And blue stain is something which the customers, eventually the customers for the wood product, they do not really want it, because it does not look so good, although the properties are still comparatively good. Based on the literature about the dead trees like this, the best practice would be to, as soon as you know that if the tree is attacked, to cut it and process it as soon as possible. Not only to cut it, but also process it, because if you would just cut them and let them stay in the forest, they can still be even more affected and have even more of the blue stain. But you can also leave them standing, which is not the best, but the literature says that after the 3 years, they would very drastically decrease the mechanical properties. So the best is to cut as soon as possible. So as I said, I've been mostly focusing on the bark beetle attacked softwood, but the other part of my research eventually is about the underused hardwood. And to talk about the species which we have in the Estonian forests, the main three species are spruce, pine, and birch. And with these, we quite know what to do with it. Like with the spruce and pine, they're broadly used in the softwood industry, in the building industry, and we quite know what to do with it, although there is also the risk of running out of it. As I said before, we might run out of it because of the bark beetle attacks, and I have also heard some like a bit extreme opinions that there might be no spruce at all in the future, which could be too extreme, which could be not true, but they have to think of alternatives. Talking about the birch, there is a plywood industry, which all works well. But then there are the other species. Here, this part. you understand what I'm talking about, where I would point out the aspen and elder, which are trees which typically are considered low-class raw materials or used for the firewood. But, and we see that there is rather big share of it, and we should do something with it. But the problem is that we don't know exactly what to do with it. That's why one of the research topics is to find the use of the underused hardwood and possibly use it in this hybrid layered materials, typically CLT or glulam. And talking about the aspen and elder, which I want to also focus on, is that they still actually have good qualities. Like, for example, aspen is the fastest growing in the tree in Estonia, so there is availability of it. The properties are slightly inferior than the birch, but it has long fiber, and long fiber means that it will be less brittle, for example, as a material. For the elder, it still has good properties and almost similar to the birch, although it's not so available. So there is potential in these trees. Now, more, again, deeper about the topic. The main idea, as I've been trying to explain already, that we want to use this blue-stained, or let's say beetle-attacked softwood, or even underused hardwood to eventually develop a material like a CLT or glulam. And why this kind of material? As I said, there is layers, and layers gives the opportunity to use different materials in one material together, and the idea could be that the outer materials can be still something which we use typically like a spruce, for example, high quality spruce, but inside in those inner layers, I don't know if I can point, but you understand what I mean. There we could use the blue stained wood, for example, or the hardwood, and the idea is very attractive because the blue stained wood the biggest problem is that in the eyes of the customers, they see the blue stain, okay, this is something wrong with this wood, there could be some rot in it, it's not reliable. But actually, according to the literature, the properties are still rather good, and there's a high potential in this wood, and we should still use it. And that's the blue stained wood and also the underused hardwood. And as a main outcome to the industry from this research, I would say that we want to use a material which is typically considered low-class raw material. We want to use it in a high-class material. And then at the same time, we don't want to compromise on its properties, because the properties of these raw materials are still good. And to dig a bit even deeper in the research I'm doing, as I said, I'm focusing on the beetle-attacked wood for now, and what I found out that there is a lack of this data on mechanical properties. I said that there are good properties, which I have already read about from the articles, but there is a lack of data on this on the trees in our area. I found some data in Poland, but there is nothing done in Baltic states, for example. Also about the physical properties, and specifically on the Norway spruce, which is material which we use a lot in Estonia. And there was no literature about the glue line integrity and also the finger joints. And in the pictures, you can see what is a finger joint, just in case. Why it's important? Because if you don't know the glue line performance or how the finger joints act for this blue stained wood, which is really, I didn't find any research, then if something doesn't work, the glue doesn't hold, or there is some different specifics, then we can't produce a CLT or glulam eventually. So this is a very important part which we have to investigate. Research questions, basically I've already said it, but this is what we want to investigate is mechanical physical properties, glue line performance, finger joint performance, and eventually when we have developed technology for the material, we want to understand how it performs with some tests and to understand mechanical physical properties of this new material. I'm starting to already work on the first article. Yeah, it's pretty clear. I'm not going to repeat, but you can see the title and the keywords, what it's about. So basically to understand the blue stained material itself, and then we eventually would move on and eventually also develop this hybrid layered material. And a picture for you how this blue stained wood looks also in reality in our lab. So this blue-gray part you see, which is something which people are afraid of, but actually we shouldn't be, and we should still investigate it more. Thank you for attention.